Your evolutionary rootwork astrologer. For those of y'all that checking in the first time, welcome to my humble abode. All right, today we're going to be talking about holistic evolutionary astrology, or astrology, rootwork astrology. I'm on a different video, but what is rootwork astrology now? I look at it more so as like the medical field of astrology, but I like to call it rootwork because that is what I do. It's a part of who I am and what I do in my lineage, ancestral lineage. And I was like, why don't we combine the root work and the astrology together? I mean, because to a degree, especially if we're talking about holistic astrology, they can go hand in hand. All right. And so I want to welcome y'all for checking in. Before we do jump into the root work astrology, I want to make a couple of announcements. It's going to take a couple minutes to say, okay. But if not, you can probably skip to like 5 minutes out or whatever the case may be. So a couple of announcements I have. First and foremost, I do have a course called Moon Signs and Past Lives. It's a 5-week course that we're going to be jumping into, I would say, July 14th. And it's pre-sales. It's 88 USD. It's 12 slots available only because I wanted to make the class really, really intimate. But we're going to be talking about like your personal moon sign, but also the nodes of the moon. So your north node and south node, Pluto, and other themes of the chart to talk about like your soul's evolution from past life energies into the present, which is evolutionary astrology here. And so if you're interested in that, it's going to be a very intimate, saucy class. You can come in, ask any kind of questions. There will be homework, all right, and one-on-ones as well too offered during this series. So if you want to sign up, you could definitely check out that link below. Also for this course, or I would say also for this introductory for rootwork astrology, I will have a cheat sheet available for you. So if you would like to take notes, your own notes, you can take notes. But if you would like to just get a personalized summary of not just what we talked about, but just like key terms and definitions that you can refer to, that is printable on a PDF file, that is going out for the good 555. Okay, and that link is also down below. And I think that's all I have. I'm trying to think if there's any more announcements that I do have. So we're switching things up. If you haven't seen already, the schedule will be doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So Moon Day, Mercury Day, and Venus Day. We'll start the top off the top of the week of evolutionary astrology. Wednesdays will be reserved for astrocartography, all things astrocartography, and then Friday we'll get into some themes that have to do with root work, okay, and from a astrological perspective. All right, so that's how we're going to be going at it for now. If there's any changes, you can definitely check that out. Also, too, make sure you subscribe to the free newsletter Substack to keep in touch. Any posts that I have, any type of, really any posts or updates and things like that, freebies, stuff like that will be posted in the subscription. I usually post like 1 to 3 times a week, so it's not too much. Heavy on the one, but 2 to 3 times per week, depending on what we're talking about, or if we go live or whatever the case may be here, just to keep y'all updated and stuff like that. Other than that, I think, let me see if there's any other announcements I have to make. Also too, going back to astrocartography before we get on to rootwork astrology, as we are moving through Venus in Cancer, which will be there till July 11th, I am offering my astrocartography on a donation basis. Okay, so if you're interested in figuring out, or locational astrology, if you're interested in figuring out where you want to be located, move, work, travel, vacation, whatever the case may be, live, whatever, astrocartography is going to be the solution for you. All right, I did do a video with Mary Poppins. I think that was like at the beginning, or I don't know, it was a couple months ago, but that link is also down below and you can definitely check that out for more information. All right, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below, and also hit that notification bell so you know every time I go live or when I post a new video. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into it. Rootwork Astrology, Cosmic Rootwork Astrology, another one of my faves out of the ones that I've already talked about this week. So when we talk about root work, first and foremost, before we get into like the medical holistic era, all right, or the information here, you know, root work was used as a term a long time ago, probably before they even got the term medicines, a different kind of medicine, before they called it medicine. And it was used, it was very, I would say it's been used throughout the diaspora, okay, for centuries, all right? And it was a ways in which a lot of times you'll see a lot of grandmothers, who use a lot of root work in their practices, but it is the combination of spiritual, divination, and plant medicine, all right? I would even like to even say soul work. Evolutionary astrology is in there, okay? I would even say astrology is a part of root work, honestly, you know? But usually, low battery. But usually it was used as a way to conjure spirit or commune with spirit, or doing the root work of, like I said, going to heal with plant medicine, animal medicines, spiritual medicines that help heal the physical body and the spiritual body and spiritual elements. So I combine that with astrology because when we talk about astrology or medical astrology or holistic astrology, it is, and by definition, alrighty, holistic or medical astrology is an ancient medical system that associates various parts of the body, diseases, foods, herbal medicines, as being under the influence of the 12 planets and astrological zodiac signs. Uses the 4 elements for understanding a person's health, weaknesses, strength, but also application and choice of foods, herbal medicines, and activities for healing. All right. The natal chart is the blueprint and understanding of self and how to apply these holistic practices. Thank you to the website that gave me this definition. I will put it in the link below. This is a really good website. Actually, old website, very old website, but really good website. I got some of this information from for sure. Now, when I said root work at the beginning, I know some of y'all probably like, well, isn't that a voodoo? Ain't that the evil stuff? Listen, if it don't feel right to you, I'm going to just tell you right now, go on ahead and go on to another video, all right? We get into the rut here, all right? And the reason why I started calling myself was a root work astrology before I really even grasped fully the term root work, or what I already had been practicing but kind of come to know what it was, is because I always feel like in order to heal a issue or a problem or a trauma or a blockage, you have to get to the root of it. You have to get to the center of it. And so that's why I've always called myself originally Cosmic Rootwork Astrologer and still a Cosmic Rootwork Astrologer, but now from an evolutionary perspective. All right. So this is what we'll be diving into when we talk about root work astrology. Now we'll get more into root work and the history of root work. We'll talk about Pluto here with that. Okay, thunderstorm. Okay, thunderstorm. Going to show out. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the Pluto series, because we'll have a series of Pluto talking about the different Pluto phases and, you know, times in history and going into evolutionary astrology and going back in time to certain things. But I do want to talk a little bit about the zodiac signs, the planetary signs, and what each thing kind of represents and rules. We'll talk a little bit about what else I had in these notes, because it was a couple. We're going to break it down as we go into the weeks, but definitely that. The planets and sociological, some things as well. I think it's psychological. Yeah, psychological. Sorry. I said psychological. Okay. Anyway, so if we're talking about the zodiac signs, and the thing about it is I was doing this a lot in my readings, like my personal readings. Not as of recent, but especially when I was doing a lot of in-person readings, I would do a lot of mentions. And even in some of my past videos, I've mentioned like certain body parts that things have represent, but we're going to go deeper into it during this series here. So as far as zodiac signs, if we're talking about what each part rules. So the Aries rules the head, the face, the eyes. Taurus rules over the neck, the throat, the tonsils, the larynx, the ears. Gemini rules over the arms, the hands, the shoulders, the lungs, the trachea, I think, and the bronchi. Cancer rules over the breast, the stomach, the ribs, and this is the upper liver, all right? The solar plexus and the diaphragm is what we're talking about here with this energy. With Leo, we have the heart, the back, the spine, and its infrastructure of the spine, okay? Virgo, we have the bowels, we have the intestines, the belly, the ultimarinary canal, the lower liver. And we're going to get into like more of what these different parts of the body mean as well too. We're going to go deep into this stuff, okay? So this is just, on the surface, on the cuff terms, but as we talk about each zodiac sign, we'll go deeper into the body parts. And this part rules this part. And this part rules whatever, okay? Libra rules the skin, the butt, the kidneys, the lumbar, and the vertebrae. Scorpio rules the blood, the organs, all sexual organs. We talk about, I also wanted to mention that Cancer rules the solar plexus as well too, is what it mentioned. I thought that was interesting, but I mean, it is like the belly area. So, or like right around that belly area, I guess you could say. So yeah, I could see that. Never mind. Especially like for pregnant season. All right, but Scorpio, blood, organs, sexual organs, reproductive, gallbladder, colon, and the rectum. All the shit that comes out. Scorpio. All right? You can handle the shit, but the shit is there. Sagittarius, we have the legs and hips. Not for real. Not the legs and hips and body, yada, yada. Sagittarius is thighs, static nerves, SCIATIC, static nerves. Capricorn is the knees, the joints of the body, and the hair. Aquarius is the shins, the legs, the teeth, the circulation of the blood, lower legs, and ankles. Pisces is the feet and the toes. Now I'm going to go back to Aquarius because teeth can also be Capricorn, because Capricorn rules the bones and teeth are the bones, okay? But it's Saturnian ruled, so you kind of had to go both. Now, when we talk about planetary energies, now the brain and the nerves is ruled by Mercury and Uranus. The respiratory system is ruled by Mercury. The heart is ruled by the Sun. The arteries is ruled by Mars. The veins are ruled by Saturn. The kidneys are ruled by Venus. The liver is ruled by Jupiter. The digestive system is ruled by Venus. The muscles are ruled by Mars. The reproduction is ruled by Venus and Mars. The endocrine system is ruled by Neptune and Uranus, which makes a lot of damn sense. The testes or the genitals is ruled by Pluto, and all the sexual organs, once again, Scorpio energy. The ovaries is ruled by the moon. Skin is ruled by Saturn. The teeth, nails, and hair are ruled by Mars. The bones and the skeleton is ruled by Saturn. Okay? Now I'm going to get into one last thing and then we'll wrap it up. And then, like I said, next week we'll start to go deeper and deeper. In the coming weeks we'll go deeper and deeper into the astrology. But if y'all have requests, before I continue on, if you have requests on something that you want to learn more about, or you have information that you want to give to the chat and the comment section down below, please feel free to comment. Also, be sure to make sure you hit that notification button. Make sure you like so this video can get out to who it needs to reach. Share and subscribe. All right, planets and that psychological. I think it's like, yeah, psychological. I want to say sociology, but psychological. Aries is the brain, faculties, and distribution of the mental and physical energy. That Aryan energy is going to get you up and going in the morning. It's going to give you that energy and vitality. Taurus is the recuperative forces. Gemini is breathing and all those things connected. So the lungs, and it gets you, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. You'll notice also too, and I'll talk deeper about this, but you notice if it's hard for you to breathe, or if it's hard for you to, not just to breathe, but like if you find yourself holding in your breath, you probably want to look at what's going on with Gemini in your chart, the Gemini sector of your chart. Cancer is overall nutrition, overall care, because nutrition is care for the body and the spirit. Leo is a distribution of vital forces, especially through the blood. Virgo is the process of assimilation and absorption. Libra is the liquid processes of the body. Scorpio is the procreation and reproductive. Also the blood. They didn't put the blood, but I put the blood because Scorpio is the blood. It talks about the blood. It talks about the bloodlines and things like that here. Sagittarius is the senses. It is studied through the nerves as well. We could say Libra is the five senses. The Venusian energy is the five senses, and I still stand by that, but it did say that the senses is also ruled by Sagittarius. But I think it's because Sagittarius is about the experience. So it's experiencing the things around you in the senses. Gemini could be that as well, but it's like immediate. Sagittarius is like the world, right? Capricorn is the process of preservation and reserve of energy. Aquarius is the circulation and the elimination process. And Pisces is the perspiration and the lymphatic process generally. So the cleansing out of the system is the end Piscean energy here. So that's what I have as a basic. Like I said, I will have, and I do have below, if you look in the description box, a, what do you call it? What I'm calling it? A little cheat sheet, a little PDF file that you can have for notes at the price of $555. All right. If you would like to have that for yourself and also to support the channel. All right. This is basic, you know, rudimentary, probably not even rudimentary because this stuff is complex. Medical astrology is, it could get pretty complex, you know what I mean? But I think learning the basics can also help you. So I don't know. I think as we move on, or before we move on into the rest of it, I want you to see if you personally or you have family members that have repetitive types of problems as far as like health issues in your family. And if there's anything that I have mentioned in this video that you're like, oh, this rules here. So for example, let's say that you have family members that have some type of respiratory issues or something like that, you know, or let's not say like respiratory issues, maybe problems with the knees and the joints. You want to look to Saturn or Capricorn and Aquarius in the chart and see what's happening with that. Just little stuff like that. Like figure out what maybe you or family members have struggled with in the family and keep that in mind. And as we move through this series, we'll talk a little bit more what that looks like and what that is. So you already know what it is. It's a Rainy Storm checking in, checking out. I'm excited to move forward with these series. I hope y'all are as well. Please let me know in the comments how you feel, like I said already. And I will see y'all on the next one. All links below. And I'll see y'all soon. Next week. You already know what it is. Deuces.